Hey guys, my name is Tong. My husband is Ralph. This is our first FAQ, so we just want to finally do a video where we answer the general questions. So here we are. Our first question is how we met. So one day I was on Tinder. I swiped on Ralph.
I set my age preference as 20-year-olds to 40-year-olds because I guess, yeah, I'm very old already and I wasn't down to meet any 18-year-olds, you know? So yeah, we matched and I was shocked when I opened her bio. I don't know why I wasn't able to see it at first, but it literally says, "Hi, I'm 18, not 20. That's even how we thought of her username and stuff. So
at that time, I remember my age on Tinder was not my actual age for some reason, and I really wanted to change it. So for some reason, I just couldn't. So in the end, I have to like state in the bio and be like, I'm 18, not 20. For those guys who actually care about the actual age of the girl they're meeting, you know, just.
I wasn't down to like meet 18-year-olds or anything like that because I was thinking, you know, they just graduated high school and.
I remember you just give me your Instagram.
Yeah, I was like, hey, here's my Instagram. Yes.
I just came from high school, so Ralph was like, you know.
She was in high school.
Yeah, Ralph was just like much older than me, so I didn't really have the confidence. So I was just like really want to know who he is. Just by scrolling his Instagram, like looking at the content, I'm like, oh wow, a video guy, all these like video stuff. So I was kind of excited because I also want to, you know, do art stuff. So we started talking.
Somewhere there, she just called me babe and stuff, you know, like just somewhere casually in there and stuff.
Yeah, this is all before we met, I guess.
Yeah, and then that's what made me like, oh shit, she called me babe, you know, and then I got so like fixated and stuff.
I think back then I just used that word. I'm a little fuckboy on that one, to be honest. I kind of just used that word.
Yeah, because if you called someone babe, like guys can be shy all the
just
time.
Casually, you know?
Yeah, and then you'd be like, you called them babe, they're like, whoa, I think she wants to fuck me. You know, like that kind of stuff, but not really.
I was interested, genuinely interested in Ralph, so I liked him. That's why I called him babe. But anyways, after texting, finally, I think you asked me out to meet.
Yeah.
One day.
After a week of talking, so that's the thing. If you let me handle when to meet, it's gonna be a week later, and I wouldn't know that she wanted to meet right away. You know, so.
Well, at that time, I was just wondering if you wanted to meet because you didn't ask me right away. If you asked me right away, I could have. Yeah. But since you didn't, I thought, okay, like this guy needs like some back and forth or something, you know.
I was so like old school, man. It's funny.
So one day we met finally. I think you drove to my place, gave you my address. During that time, I was like not in a good place with my mom, so constant fighting, you know, in that mood. And I didn't know I was in a bad mood all the time, meeting people and stuff. I thought I was just normal because I was always trying to be okay. But you know, it still shows, I guess.
She just came in.
That's why I hopped into your car. This is why later on Ralph has to tell me this because I didn't know that this is what it looked like. I just jumped into the passenger seat like that. Yeah, like what he said. I said let's go. Apparently, I forgot about it right now.
I'm like, don't you want to eat first or something? They're like, nah. It's so funny. Yeah, I remember.
I didn't know why I didn't want to eat.
Yeah, you had a fight with your mom. But, yeah, at the same time, like, yeah, usually for me, too, it was, like, my first time meeting anybody on Tinder, so I was like, do we go eat or something, you know, like, that kind of stuff. Like, I really didn't know what I was doing, and at the same time, I was so nervous because her profile picture on her Tinder didn't even show how pretty she is, like, actually in real life, you know, because for some reason, I don't know what happened, but, yo, man, you're, like, way hotter than I... in the picture, so I got so nervous and stuff. When she came in the the car, I was just like, and then she was like in her bad mood apparently. I was just like so mind blown, like, oh my god, she's such a badass and stuff, you know. It's funny too, because like while we were driving back to my parents' place, I lived with my parents. I knew she wasn't listening to anything that I was saying, but I was just like, oh my god, she's so hot.
Yeah, apparently later on, he told me apparently he was saying something. I didn't even know he was talking.
Yeah, I felt so like, you know, like ignored, but yeah, I was like, oh my god, that's so hot.
But I didn't mean to do that though. I just didn't know why. Like it just didn't register. Yeah. I remember I went to your place. Saw the dogs. I think your parents' dogs. I'm like, oh wow, dogs. I like animals.
As a shy fuckboy, the only thing I could think of was like, here's our dogs. Imagine an old guy, yo, just living in their parents' basement. And for a lot of girls, right, a guy like me, they'd be like, what the fuck? He still lives with his parents and stuff, you know? I wouldn't even come to know that, oh, they don't like that kind of shit.
Yeah, for me, it didn't really matter. This whole thing didn't really matter. I didn't just look at something, oh, you live with your parents, like, or you still play video games, or whatever it is, you know? So, went down to your basement immediately, and then you tuned in some Netflix. I remember some anime. Watched it for a bit on your bed. I don't even know how we started kissing.
I didn't even know what I was doing. That's why I was like, you just started lying down, like away from the
how did I got
screen.
so comfortable? Like,
I don't know. You're just like, yeah, you just started lying down, and I'm like, oh. So I just started lying down with you. In a weird way that says like,
yeah.
Well, we were spooning and stuff. You know, y'all can see it in our video on how we met on our PH. But yeah, that's the thing. I just started holding you, and you turned around, you started kissing me and stuff, and then I guess that meant we're having sex. So.
Yeah, I didn't really remember the whole process from watching anime to the sex, but I just remembered the sex.
But I was noticing your body language was already like, I kind of realized every time after, and I'm like, oh, the whole time she's just waiting for me to make a move. Oh, the whole time I should have just, like, wow, I don't even know why I like went 75% into the movie, and then that's where she's just like, okay, I'll just wait if she's gonna do anything or not. So yeah.
I was genuinely enjoying the time, whatever we were doing. And then, yeah, we just had sex. It was under a minute.
Yeah.
And it was the best sex I ever had in my life.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know he was gonna come inside me. It was all a shock to the both of us. And I remember in the end, I got a little
yeah, she was like
shocked.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know, it was too good. Okay, there's those times where you think you're, back in the day, I thought, like it was all about lasting long and everything, and it was just, you could do those things, with other people, but the moment it was with her, it was just like, I don't know, like it was just so like tight, and damn, man, like I don't know how to, like, you guys can just already notice. I don't even know what happened that time. Like it was just too much. I couldn't last long at all. I usually could and stuff, like I took pride in that thing, but this time I was like, I don't know what happened, and I just said, oh, I came inside you. She was just like,
I was a little turned off, to be honest. I was scared.
She's like, scared. Yeah, you're getting me a plan B. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Oh, okay.
I don't know if I was mad, but I was just more of worried,
She's like,
I didn't want him to be thinking I'm mad at him. But yeah, I was like worried and stuff. So yeah, that's what
it's okay
happened.
To be mad at me.
That's what happened in our first meet. Yeah, I guess that's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met.
On Tinder. Second question is why we do what we do.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, welcome. We are 18not20. We're content creators. We live stream on Chaturbate. We do OnlyFans content. We have PH videos. This is basically what we do. So why we do what we do? It has to be, we have to track it back in the past. Before, I was just a high school student who was pressured my whole life to be a professional, to pursue a professional career. So my whole life was all about that. And at some point, upon graduating high school, I was almost gonna go into an Ivy League and just pursue medical, like how my parents wanted me to. But I didn't want to, but didn't know how to continue my future or anything like that on my own. But at some point, I decided to not pursue medical and study and just try to really figure out what I really like or want to do with my life, no matter how hard it takes. And after high school, I started just finding jobs, simple jobs. I remember finding jobs with Ralph. We took my first job as a barista in the coffee shop. We were like working on retail, on whatever job we could find. And we also worked in the financial industry, so professional jobs working together. And throughout those times, I found out that I just really, first of all, really want to spend more time with Ralph. So during those times where I have to be separated for 8 hours per day, yeah, I was okay with that. But at some point,
we did that for a while.
Yeah, when life really rolls in day by day, I feel that I don't have enough time to be spent with Ralph. We were just in a rat race every day. The only time we meet is just sleeping, eating, and we didn't even have that much emotional connection as much as we like to, because the tiredness of our labor and so much in our mind, and just couldn't took time for each other in that way. So even though we're sleeping together, eating together at home, I just felt disconnected. So but I felt like at that time, like that was the only choices I have in terms of being employed. So I dealt with that. So I didn't really like spending time away from Ralph like that. In the end, we decided to work together in many gigs, many professional jobs as well.
It always starts with sales and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
we started out with knives.
Yeah.
And then, what was the next one? Like,
in terms of sales?
Yeah.
I think from knife, we went to... From knife, that was not employed. And then we went to employment.
Oh, yeah.
And then after all the employment, even through the professional employment, even through the self-employment, after that we went back to selling.
Sales and stuff.
Sales and stuff.
Yeah, so we sold knives and stuff, like almost everyone who got into sales. And then we just worked normal wages. Was it the chimney cakes one?
So there was the chimney cake coffee shop. That was when we worked together.
Yeah.
You were doing the chimney cakes. I was doing the coffee.
Oh right, yeah.
So that was my first job of my life. Obviously not yours.
Yeah.
But that was the first job we worked together as being employed in a store.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after doing in sales and financial industry, I find out even though we were spending time together, even though we were 24/7 at this point, we were selling insurance, I still didn't feel fulfilled, because even though we were spending time together, even though it was a good product, it wasn't about us. Even though we were doing things together, it wasn't about us. I think that was my biggest problem.
As an insurance agent, it requires you to be there for others. For a while, yes, like I've worked in a hospital before, and it's also a job for others, right? And I know what that feels like to do things for others, but you know, it just gets there at some point where doing things for others may start becoming a bad thing if you never had any time for yourself.
Yeah, even though we had time for ourselves, it was just, in the end, it wasn't about us, the things we were selling. And even though it was a good product, I just felt empty when it comes to just selling something that's not about us at all. So in the end, why we do what we do, first of all, why we want to spend time with each other in a meaningful way where it's about us, not about anything else. So we also wanted to be more real about ourselves on top of spending time with each other.
Most of these questions, like she said, we were just answering in a general way, but maybe in the future we may even go on a deep dive on some of those questions even more, especially since some questions definitely need more details. I know it's like that too for us, and we feel like we should say more when it comes to those certain questions, but that'll be on a different video. Most weird thing we encountered in CB. Here's the thing, like, in CB, I don't know, weird is like kind of like when you're working at the hospital and, you kind of see your manager, like, kind of like bully one of your coworkers that's new, and then making her do everything. And it's like kind of like a weird hazing like feeling, and everybody kind of knows, they're like giggling about it and stuff. They're like, oh, she's gonna have to do everything, we'll see how she holds up. And you're there just watching, feeling like you can't really do anything because you also don't want to lose your job. That's what I feel like is weird, like that's weird in CB, because I don't think there's anything that weird. Like, people can be like mean, people can be assholes and stuff like that, but in terms of weird, sure, there's a person who likes to say weird things and you're supposed to just be like, okay, but it's never that weird. I don't know, like, weird in CB.
So in jobs, when it comes to seniority, that's a weird thing. If they seniority in a job place is only weird if they exercise that shit on you in a bad way.
Yeah.
Right, and what we do is not even like that. So there's none of that. So we have full control of what we do, and that's what I like.
Yeah, and Chaturbate, they provide you with enough tools already to have full control over it. But I do know that a lot of people in Chaturbate don't always have full control over themselves or their room. But yeah, Chaturbate already provides you with enough tools to actually be able to control everything, basically.
So us content creators, whether it's Chaturbate or OnlyFans or any platform, you just have full control of what you do. And this is only speaking from independent, organic content creators. This is only speaking for ourselves. So in terms of being weird, since we have full control of what we do, in the end, there's nothing that we don't control of. So there's nothing weird about anything. Even though if people want it to be weird, we don't let that settle in. So I don't really feel like in the end there's any weirdness.
Yeah, you'll make it weird if you're having to show up hours, like certain hours, because you actually work for some studio, for example. It'll be weird if you have to be pressured to have to make this much tokens just because you're not only feeding yourselves, you're also feeding this building here that you're inside in and stuff, type of thing. Like, so that's what would make things weird. So for us as independent content creators here on Chaturbate and stuff, and everywhere explicit that we post on, it's good that she really takes control with pretty much even she even lets me know what I shouldn't do when it comes to it. Basically, we just have to really hold our ground in certain things, because especially for me as a dude and stuff in this industry, I end up not realizing that I might end up saying something or doing something.
For example, no DMs or PMs.
Yeah.
That's one of the rules that we do. Because in the end, DMs and PMs to us and how we do things, it's just really not necessary. So we just really like the general vibe of the group, and everybody can see everything, everything's visible, even the conversations as much as possible. I want everybody to really just know what we do together the whole time.
Yeah, it's much better like transparent in public. We actually like it to be very transparent and very public and stuff. Like the PMs are very it goes to another page and stuff, you know. It takes you away from public chat. I mean, that's what private messages are meant for, but then private messages also end up taking the performer into some sort of private mode of like just messaging somebody, you know. So for us as transparent people, that's very unnecessary to really just, you know, they might as well come say it to us in public, say it to us in front of everybody, you know, and actually just, you know, if you really are shy, then we have this thing called the tip note, where when they tip, the note is right beside it, you know, which still allows us to see it in a public chat, and we don't have to flip to some private message page. And yeah, it's just we just find it important like that.
And I feel more comfortable when everybody can see what everybody's doing. I feel more comfortable, to be honest. Even though, you know, weird shit can still happen, you know. But
let them say their weird stuff over out there and stuff.
It's just everybody can see everything, and I feel more comfortable about that.
Yeah.
I actually sometimes don't feel comfortable when everybody can't see some of the people what they say to us. You know?
So yeah, as weird as it gets, it never gets that weird, because I think we just put ourselves in a position where, sure, this guy can get weird, but you'll just have to kick him out if they cross the line, you know? Yeah,
sometimes I feel like we have seen so much weird people in our lives already that when we come on Chaturbate, it's kind of the same thing. And to be honest, when we come on Chaturbate, it got better because for some reason, we found more true people in this community than people we found out there in society.
Yeah.
So I would say doing what we do, there was nothing weird. Right. There were weirder people before doing what we do right now. There was definitely weirder people before.
That's just what life is like, and everybody's just like that in the workplace. There's always power play, like she said.
Yeah.
We've worked together in a place where she literally saw our boss like trying to just fuck with me, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, like those things get weird for sure.
Next question is swap or collabs. We don't ever swap, share, or collab, and we're not in an open relationship because we're monogamous married couple. Doing what we do as, you know, monogamously. So nothing like that. So the answer would be we don't swap, we don't share,
we don't collab.
We don't do anything like that. And I just want to explore a little bit the reason why, as just myself and my own beliefs, is that I believe love, sex, and doing life should be shared with one person. At least that's just what I want.
Yeah, that's just us.
That's just what I want, and that was just my fantasy before when I was single. I wanted to live, love, and fuck this one person that I'm really into for the rest of my life. That's just what I want. So, you know, it's obviously contradicts on swapping and collab and all that. So that's why
mainstream. That's
why I want to be monogamous, and I would feel insecure. I would feel insecure, first of all, if the person I'm with want to share me, like, and I don't want to get to that point.
It's okay to be, especially for people like us, you know.
And if I were to be shared, I would just rather leave the relationship instead of staying. No matter how long the relationship is, no matter how I love the person, it's just off my limit now. Like, that's just really what I don't believe if that person were to share me. And I don't care what excuse they have. It just, to my mind, they just are not fully into me, you know? And I can't feel secure with that. I can never be in that kind of relationship. I can never trust that person, no matter if we were to do life together. But we swap. I can never trust that kind of stuff too. So
yeah, can't like love one person, fuck another person, and then have sex
with a third person.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what? Yeah, fucking sex.
Yeah. So if I love a person and I have sex with a person, but I don't do life with them for some reason, I can't be with this person. Yeah. So if I can't do one out of those three, it's not it for me. So I have to be doing sex, love, and living life with that one person, and that's just what I want.
Yeah. And here's the thing, just a disclaimer, this is just how we feel and stuff. This is not for everybody, and I know everybody's different, you know, and there's different reasons why people share. There's many cases why people ended up sharing, why people end up becoming swingers and stuff like that. So we totally understand that there's many people in their different challenges and what they still have to uphold. And, you know, like, we just understand that these things happen and it results to people swinging and being in open relationships, having multiple partners, whatever and stuff. But this is just how monogamous people feel. And monogamous people feel like polygamy is an excuse to actually committing to one person. We always hear this a lot, that animals were not meant to get married and stuff and have these like walls apparently that make them only choose one partner. But the thing is, this is what makes us human, right? We're not trying to just be animals. What makes us human is us trying to really go out of our nature, if that's really the case. You know, I know there's animals that are monogamous, but I'm not going to go down on that one. But we're humans who are really thoughtfully trying to be with each other. So yeah, we totally get it. But for me, I just know that if I also wasn't with her, I probably would be sharing my wife too. If I was not with her, I would be sharing my girlfriend if it was not with her. Because knowing my exes and stuff, it kind of was like, it kind of leads towards that. I understand, because if I had your wife, I would be sharing her too, you know. But I hope you also get that because I'm with her, there's just people you end up with that will make you go, no, I'm never sharing her like you. I want her for myself, you know. And if you've never felt that before, maybe you'll feel that one day, stuff. And I understand that if it's something you don't really care about too, yeah, we're not you know, like I said, we're not judging, you know. We're just monogamous, and you know, we just like the way we live. Like, open relationships were never a great idea for,
and I want to be in a relationship to feel secure.
Yeah.
Not to have an excuse to explore different people.
You don't train yourself to not be insecure by putting yourself in a swing club, you know. That's for people like me and people like her, that's just self-destruction, you know. So that's why like, whether, like, you know, like you see courses and how it's liberating and all that kind of stuff. For people like us, it really just, that's not the right way for us, you know. So yeah, but disclaimer once again, we're all different and we totally understand. You guys think of, you know, like, polygamy is different for others and stuff, you know. So yeah.
Next question is making vids or going on live. For me, there's I like both. For example, making videos, there's not that much candid moment, but I can create a story for people to watch. I think that's one of the biggest thing why I like videos.
Yeah, that's like for me too. I like, as an editor, I also like the process of putting things together and stuff. Like, it's always such a, you know, I know a lot of the people who edit their content, there's this fulfilling, like, it's a very tedious task, but it's also very fulfilling to just see your content come to fruition, scene by scene and stuff, and you can't even believe, like, wow, I'm putting scenes together like this and stuff. It's a very nice, like, you know, like, making videos is a very nice process, regardless how how much you put into it, you know.
Making videos for me is just mainly expressing myself in a story setting. That's what I like about making videos. And moving on to going on doing live shows. To be honest, as much as I'm comfortable in doing videos, I'm very comfortable doing live shows, especially maybe nowadays that I'm more used to doing live shows. I find it more fun when it comes to candid moments of myself. I find it funny, to be honest. I like good interactions with viewers who actually is into what we do and want to get to know more about us. You know, I like that kind of stuff, and it just gives me a good feeling sometimes with good feedbacks too. And overall, I just like the interaction. I just like the good interaction. And sometimes good interaction, whatever interaction is the realness of a live show. I think I like the realness of a live show better, and also allows me to find. It allows me to know that there's also good people out there that like what I do, amongst the people that don't like me and what we do. So that's
much appreciated.
That's kind of like heartwarming all the time, you know. So
yeah, thank you for all those who have been with us like since day one. We are not a big community, and it's so awesome to even like have this little like group in a little corner of, you know, Chaturbate, where we're all just ourselves, you know, and you guys, you know, like just appreciate what we do. And here's the thing, making videos does feel like a cool workshop feeling where you're just creating something and inventing something even sometimes. But when you're in a live show, I feel like it's like our own little restaurant, you know. We got our little menu where you can see and just choose which one you'd like to try, and then once you make that order, we just love to cook it, and all we do and make sure is that we cook it properly for you, and we do our best with it every time, you know. We're also trying to get better at that dish every time it gets ordered, and you know, like it's so nice, like even for us 2 years later from when we started, just to see like how our show has become, all because of the crowd and how they've been responding to the things we've offered in our little restaurant. And it's been very fulfilling. We love how we can never expect what order they make from our, like we already know what we've put in our menu, but we can never expect who orders what and what kind of combos they would put together. That's what also makes it fun and very creative visually and interactively. It's amazing, you know.
So in the end, I think making videos and doing live shows, they all represent what we do, but just different kinds of angles.
Yeah.
Because the candid part, for example, sometimes we do include bloopers in our videos, right? For people to see the backstage, how we bring our ideas together to make things happen. I like that part sometimes when it comes to video making and actual full production and at the result. But when it comes to live shows, I just like how everything is so real, and yeah, there's nothing for you to edit out because that's how real, candid we are when it comes to situations and whatever's happening in the room.
Yeah.
I find it fun. So
yeah, that's what makes it fun, you know. Never knowing what to expect.
So the next question is, what do your friends and family think, and how do we go about it? I don't have friends, but the family and what they think negatively. And how did I go about it? I just didn't care and continue what I do. And that's about it.
Yeah, it can be as simple as that. I don't know what they're thinking most of the time, but I have a fair idea. Like, you know, we're like those insurance agents that like to like make our own content and stuff, but it was never explicit, right? Because we had the rule that we can't do explicit stuff.
Yeah, so.
And yeah, like they've always known that we're expressive, but here's us like always holding back to what we truly wanted to show people, regardless if that was our coworkers, or if like that was our colleagues in the insurance industry. The moment we had our like we started getting all more expressive and stuff. Yeah, my dad, I'm pretty sure he's freaking out inside and stuff, but he tried to just be calm about it, but at the same time I forgot, but it was just like somewhere in the lines of like, I know you guys are like very expressive and but can you just remember our last name, okay? Like, I don't know if like he's Fob Filipino, and I know that he's probably just trying to find the words at the same time, but that's somewhere there too. So as simply put, he could only be just remember our last name. Like, yo, funny enough, okay, is we're these Filipinos whose last name is very rare and nobody really fucking knows about him anyways. Like, we're not like some sort of like the limbs or something where you can kind of be like, oh yeah, the limbs and stuff, and then even when I'm speaking here, like people are, oh yeah, I know some limbs. We're not those kind of people. So I think he's just trying to get up there in society slowly. He's like the first generation spearhead, like doing his best. Maybe he's working hard on putting our family name out there and finally putting it on the map. It's so silly, but maybe he feels weird about me putting our last name on the map like this, but I'm not walking around with my last name like that and stuff. At the same time, for me too, I'm like, oh wow, if you really think that that's like something you'd be ashamed about, yeah, sure, like I'm not even gonna put my last name on the thing anyways, so yeah, they're fine. That's kind of like the last bit of what I kind of know from him. He would have been mad more if it wasn't for the times where he got into Forex and he thought he lost the money, but then I had to retrieve it for him and stuff. So there've been incidents there where me as a son had to really save my dad from something that he just kind of slightly, so it was weird for him to kind of tell me about the nudes and stuff. So yeah, that's why in the end of the day, I know what he thinks, but I know that he may not be able to approach me in a truthful way. It's kind of funny though, because if he was to really know me and how I was when I used to be in workplaces, me as a person, how I held myself, how I stood my ground, and like how your dad's just worried, oh, hopefully this guy does well, okay, or does okay in life and stuff like that. I think compared to before where I used to work and how I do my things now, I think he would be proud of me in how I hold myself. But he just can't help the fact that I'm naked though. He's like, oh man, yeah, good on you not budging to those motherfuckers. But you're just naked though, so that's kind of where I know my parents are at. And the rest of it is just them being shameful of the fact that we're doing this
And
in their workplace.
I have to say, yes, I have families, so my parents know what I do, don't like what I do. But in the end, we just have to come to an understanding that I'm not going to change myself, and they just don't understand. And then for other people, there's people who know what I do and love what I do. There's people that love what I do too, and also come up to me and ask how we do things because they just really like what we do and just are curious about it. So there's times that most of them are girls, some of them are guys. This is back in the days, in the past, when we used to interact with some of our friends, and they will be like curious and ask questions, and so what does your parents think, this and this and that, like all these hardship and challenges that we have to overcome just to be free and do what we do fully. I find out that most of the time when people hear around those hardships, some of them maybe they still care about some of the things that we have to leave behind, obviously, and then it doesn't come to a full conversation in the end because I just kind of said this things that that is probably too hard for people to do, but they just really like what we do though. But that's where the conversation doesn't end well though. But
yeah, they like what she does. They just don't want to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
They figured, after. Yeah, because the curiosity always gets them to approach her.
But I always like to be real.
Yeah, she says she has no friends, but a lot of people want to be friends with her, try to even have conversations and meet up with her, but she's just too real with life and, like, just actually doing life and stuff. Like, she's got a mindset on many things and stuff. And, yeah, like, yes, there was a time where people hang out with friends. I did that a lot as a dude. Like, we're always, like, chill every Friday with the boys and stuff, eating chicken wings and Wednesdays and stuff even. And unless it was financially, like, detrimental to the person, they don't really feel like stopping, they're always just still meeting up or like, oh yeah. So that kind of happens a lot. She never really did that. She just has her mind really.
I guess I never really did that, and I also wasn't interested in getting into that.
Oh yeah, but she's been in the club like 5 times.
Yeah, stuff. But I only like to be in the club with Ralph. But yeah, there was first time, second time. I was in the club before meeting Ralph, but that wasn't a good time. I don't feel the club at all. I wasn't happy. I was like depressed being single in the club. And then after that, I met Ralph, and we're all happy in the marriage. Being in the club with Ralph in this life, it just makes it so much funner and better.
She actually makes me feel like such a winner when we were dancing together at the club. Never felt like that before.
But then after, to be honest, before knowing CB and all these platforms, being in the club, I felt like is one of the things where I can just dance it out, be myself, and laugh it out, and be goofy.
Yeah.
In a public setting like that, right? Like with some drinks and stuff. But I feel like, I have to really mind my skirt. Like, for example, there's an incident where, girls wear skirts or dresses in clubs, and I have to feel like when I'm dancing, can't show this one, or I have to, like, pull it down or something, or be insecure about my boobs all the time. Instead of really thinking to join the vibe, now I have to care about my looks and stuff, and that's kind of a restriction. That's why I like, doing CB and what we do, because the non-restrictive part once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we understand that our friends and families don't, don't really fuck with it and stuff sometimes. I've tried, even for my friend, I was helping him out with his breakup and stuff. And after that, I know somewhere there he's gonna, like, mention, oh yeah, how are you guys now, and then I mentioned, like, oh yeah, we're in, like, Pornhub now and stuff. We kind of just been doing these kind of things, and then this is back at the times we just started, and I'm stupid, and I'm just, like, one of those people, or, like I said, like, I watch myself from doing things that make me sell her out or anything like that. I don't mean to do that at all, like, so before I was, like, I'll be helping him out with his breakup and stuff, and there's me, like, when they ask me what I do, I say, oh yeah, we're doing Pornhub. Y'all should check it out, man, if you.
But that's truly, like, we were just enjoying what we do, and when people ask us what we do, we just truly just say it.
Yeah, and that was that. We don't do that anymore. Like, we don't even DM people anymore. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, he would be like, bro, yeah, that's good, man. It's just you're my friend, man, for, like, all our lives. So it's just I just can't, Like, I just can't have it in me to, like, ever,
That's what he said?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was, like, pretty shocked that it's like, oh, like, some bros can actually be like this, like that. I mean, we used to share, like, show each other who we fuck and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff. Like, but all of a sudden when it came to this one, it's like, oh, yeah, man, it's just, yeah, you're my friend and all, and,
Maybe it's just...
Yeah, but, like, a photo of when her girl is sending her the photos, like, he'll show me that.
Yeah, but there's no him in it.
Yeah, no him in it and stuff.
So obviously there's no his penis. But he's gonna see your fucking penis.
Yeah, that's why.
But I guess that's, I don't know, but I get it, but still don't.
Yeah.
But, if it was my friend doing this, I would totally watch it. But that's just me, though,
Yeah, but I think it happens to everybody, and nowadays, too, we even know a person that actually is just doing it. Like, they work in jobs, so they probably were not going to do Chaturbate, or anything like that. But they know that we do this, and they're just like, "Whoa, that's cool that you guys are doing like like couple like hot couple stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, man." Yeah, and it's nice to know that that they're just people who are also like expressing in a real couple way, and regardless whatever like whether people are monogamous or polygamous, like it's just cool to have real couples actually show up and show how they do things. Most especially monogamous couples, because there is a lot of like the whole thing about the industry is all about polygamy, right? Most of the time, but there are real couples out there that want to do this kind of thing and never share. Offers come out from nowhere. You'd be surprised that like those Pornhub companies or the companies that you see in Pornhub, like with the porn videos, they actually email you and offer you like a thing too. But yeah, we've always said no, and we've never actually like done anything with anyone else involved, even with the editing so far. Yeah, and because even for me, yeah, sure, like things could get really like crazy one day that people might have to hire an editor, but like for me, I'm still happy doing the editing and stuff, to be honest. I have this certain taste that I like in editing and stuff that I probably wouldn't ever be able to explain to a person on Fiverr and stuff.
And I only trust Ralph when it comes to this.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's just that. We can only care less, though, what our families think about us and stuff. They're on a society thing. Well, we already know we're not trying to be like society at all and stuff. We're not even mainstream in the way we do things. And yeah, you guys will see that in our live shows that we are definitely not mainstream. And yeah, like we said earlier too, this is for our little community of under 1,000, under 500, under 100. I don't know, like
depends on the day.
Yeah, our real ones are definitely just under like 30 people and stuff, which is awesome and stuff. And everybody else, we appreciate that you guys been trying it out and all that kind of stuff, getting to know us more, like it's a little nice thing. We can only care less about our friends and families and what they think when there's really like a lot of people that already appreciate us for what we do, and like more than 10 is already a lot. It's like it's amazing to just like see people that understand us or know that there's people that really understand us and how we've always been doing about this and stuff. I'm very happy of myself being able to not be such a sellout anymore like before. Like the most I was a sellout is when you're like in a workplace, you graduate for it, you worked hard for it, so you're gonna have to like go all the way for these things. And a lot of it is like that, especially if you're like a doctor, if you're trying to be a lawyer and stuff like that. A lot of these things you'll be bound to, and if that's not really what you're up for, holding that status is not worth it, So I think that's just for me. Don't quit your jobs if you guys love it, But I don't know what to say about people who hate their jobs and stuff and them still keeping it, because situations are all different and some people have to keep jobs they don't like, Yeah.
We kept so many jobs we didn't like before, but we still worked through it.
Yeah.
I just know in the end, I'm doing the jobs I didn't really like. At some point, I wanted to elevate myself to different things in life, but yes, I guess I appreciate the journey where I came from, doing all these little jobs, big jobs, gig jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, if our friends and family could see how we really are and stuff, like this is the funny thing. I'm like, oh man, like I wonder what they would think about our show once they really see it. Not minding my penis, you know what I mean? Like, or the whole nakedness here going on and stuff. Like it's always like that. It's just funny because like I definitely think I have gone way better as a person, learning life with her, and dealing with people at the realest. Like you never would imagine that you'd be such a strong individual like this just from interacting with people in CB. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, you start getting tough because people are like, is this dick big or not? No, like you actually start learning to run things like a restaurant. Like we imagine it like only we work and there's no clerk that welcomes the person. We're the ones that say hi. It's a very fulfilling process that we kind of like wish our friends and family could see. And they'd be like, wow. Other than the naked part, you know. Yeah, so I don't know.
In the end, we do know what they think for some of them, but how we go about it, we just don't care, and we just do our stuff.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you have dreams for yourself and people are just having to stop you from doing it because of how your life situation is, regardless, it's gonna feel so painful, like, going about it, you know, or, yeah, us Filipinos, we're like, oh, pain? That's what we, like, yo, my middle name is Pain and stuff, you know. You know, like, they're just always bearing with things and stuff, you know, there'd be these times where whenever a Filipino wants to do whatever he wants to do, some other Filipino would always be like, you don't know what it's like to be Filipino. There's so much sacrifices Filipinos have to, you know, and I don't think that's always something a person has to bind themselves with just because their parents felt that way and then they want their kids to feel that way as well, you know. So there's things like that I'm just so much more happy doing what I do than being, you know, like bound to things that I was never meant for, you know. I just help some other way. I'd just rather do this.
Next question is, how did we get into naturism? How do we get into it? I think we just saw some posts on social media, and we never know there's like naturism spots nearby.
Yeah, well, we knew there was a beach that had like, you know, like there's a beach where a lot of people would be like taking their clothes off and stuff, but it just seemed very overwhelming, and you know, like sometimes you'd end up hearing like incidents of boundaries being crossed in that certain beach in the city. But yeah, we found this one.
Yeah, and then I remember, I don't really remember that much at first, when there obviously was insecure about everything about myself. I don't know, we were just trying to find like a quiet spot, sort of, out of all the chaos. And just really into ourselves and don't really like to interact too much with other people, you know, in that place. We just like to have our little spot and just be quiet and enjoy the sun. Most especially me, you know. I like to just have my own space. I like to distance myself from people when it comes to that. And and sometimes I like to do stretches naked. There's a lot of things I like to do naked, like sunbathe, stretching, go into the water, just take that time and soak the energy. And to be honest, not that much time for the summertime in Canada, so I would just really like to take this time and use it the fullest with myself. And that's pretty much it. That's why we got into naturism. That's why I like naturism.
Oh, the wind feels so good in my balls.
Oh yes, and the wind, yeah.
Yeah. Like the wind and sun. Sometimes if you just got a good balance of sun and wind and stuff, getting naked feels so great, and you don't really like. It's funny because when you go to a normal beach and you have like, whether just a beach shirt on, like, you know, tank top and stuff or something, you got shorts on, it already gets so hot. But the moment you're just naked, you can take a little heat, and the heat takes it feels good. You still gotta like watch out for your sunburn though and stuff, you know. But as long as you got that managed, oh, you'll have a great time. Just going naked and just like feeling nature through the balls.
I feel free in terms of I can breathe again from my body through my pores that's always been blocked by whatever fabric, like, or whatever thing I'm wearing. And when I'm just fully out in the sun especially, it just feels like I can breathe again and I'm grounded again without any clothes, which is like the best thing ever. So yeah, you can ground with clothes, but grounding without clothes is just way much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's why we're naturists, because we just like this. What nature has to offer for us, to be honest. Less of human interaction when it comes to beaches. Less of human interaction when it comes to us going to the nude beach. More of soaking in what nature has to offer for us as human beings.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it.
Yeah, man. For those that have never tried it, been curious about it, I mean, I'm pretty sure some of you guys have swam in a lake and for a few seconds just took off the shorts and just like literally swam naked. You know how great that felt? This is why naturists like come about, you know. That's really it. It's like it just doesn't beat the feeling of being naked when it comes to swimming in nature, soaking, sunbathing, like, man.
Yeah.
Life has never been the same ever since we started going naked out in nature and stuff.
And to be honest, I get it when it comes to naturism. Is mostly the girls who are more insecure besides the dudes. I know everybody does at some point. But mostly for the girls is more of a challenge, right? Because we're more vulnerable, you know? Yeah. And for me, I guess I just really separated myself and my space from all of those eye staring or...
Yeah, there'll be people like, here's the thing, there'll be rules where people put out there already, like, yeah, try not to stare at people and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, it happens a lot that some people just don't know it yet. It's great that in the beach we go to, there's already a few people that know us there that always say hi, and they always are. One of them actually has been there like since 4 years now that we've been there and stuff, you know, like he's the one that said hi to us ever since we went there the first time, and he continues to let people know, you know, just the general rules in the area and stuff, like even till today. And it's nice that you have people like that. But no matter what, especially when that guy's not there, you know, sometimes people will stare because they'll be so curious. She has small boobs and they're like, whoa, is that a little girl?
Yeah, but for me, I feel comfortable, I guess, most days because there's a lot of people there in general, and most of the time. So most of the time I feel good because there's a lot of people. Yeah, we just blend in and do our own stuff. Just be with ourselves.
Oh, she still stands out. It's hilarious, but yeah, like it's like, yeah, we just try to blend in. One time we were like there, started oiling her with coconut oil. She's looking shiny and super hot. We're like trying to be discreet. But yeah.
No, it's just that's just what we do. Sometimes
yeah.
I'm like tired of oiling myself, so I just tell Ralph, "Yo, babe, can you oil me up? Cause I'm tired of oiling myself."
Yeah, and I feel like a boss.
And then at some point, I think there's one time, I don't know why, I think I'm just so tired, and I'm like, "Babe, can you oil my front too?" And then Ralph's like, "Yeah, maybe you should just do that." And I'm like, "Oh right." But yeah,
imagine me just like oiling over titties. Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
Like,
yeah,
we're married and
yeah. I always like put my leg on her thing, and sometimes it's not at the appropriate place, you know.
I tried to stay my hand. I tried to put my hands off of his ass or whatever I usually do, but.
Or when she puts her hand on my dick and stuff, so yeah, like yeah.
I try not to do that.
There's times like in.
Like, oh.
Even in naturism, you know, like she's just so natural, like, you know, flicking her boobs and stuff. She'd be like talking, she's like, yeah, like,
yeah, I don't know why I have that automatic thing. I don't know why.
You're just like flicking it.
I think I'm just very fidgety as a person. I just need something to move.
She fidgets on her titties.
And there's nothing else to jiggle.
Oh, well, yeah, it's great. We love the community overall, and yeah, it may be overwhelming for others, but. You know, CB and everything like that. Naturism's cool. Like, you know, like we like it's literally where we relax.
Like, I don't like camping, but I like naturism.
Yeah.
When it comes to this whole exploring the nature, liking the Mother Earth, and just soaking in energy and having fun out there.
It's a nice picnic, you know?
I like this over camping.
Yeah. And we just bring our picnic set. We have food that we bring all the time. Sometimes we bring a lot of water and stuff, you know? Yeah, it just depends. And, we just prepare our day. We usually set our day like, yep, that whole day we're going to be there, you know, naked for 12 hours or something. And it's happened before. And, like, it's just amazing. It just depends on the day. Yeah. And, it just, once we got into it, we're just into it already.
You can never go back.
Yeah, we can never unnaturist it. It'd be so sad, like, you know, to just, whenever the winter comes in, we're like, oh, summer's over. Fuck. But yeah, we do try to, maybe one day we'll explore different naturism areas, but we're not really those kind of people. We're like, oh yeah, we love naturism so much, we want to check out every single beach. But yes, from wherever we'd go, if there's a nude beach there, oh, it's a cool stop, you know? Like, we'd probably make a stop at a nude beach, you know? We're just not like, you know, like
we
pinning
really
the map with
travel for that resort.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going along the way wherever we travel. If there's one, we'll check it out.
Yeah, and if it's conveniently just at that thing, we were, you know, we'd choose that over a hotel for sure, you know? So, something like that. But, no, we're not chasing naturist sites and stuff, or naturist areas. We just love where we get to go naked, and we'd even love it more if we had our own backyard to be naked in privately.
Without the shades, but not blocking the sun at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I need the sun.
Yeah.